This is Mrs. Ash for new role play event competitors. I wanted to shoot a video explaining what to expect when you look at and analyze a role play in competition. So I want to point out that I am currently at the main website for DECA. This is deca.org. You're going to want to go to high school. Always make sure you're in high school, and now I'm going to competitive events. I wanted to make sure you had seen this page. I don't want to assume as you scroll down you're going to see a lot of information, and eventually you're going to start to come to the different event listings. The role play events are listed at the top. The first categories of events, role play events, are the principals. These are for the first time competitors only. That's an individual event. You have a business administration core. You have 10 minutes to prepare with your business scenario and 10 minutes of interview time. If you are in a team decision event, it is 2 people. You have a case study, which is much more detailed than a scenario that you have in one of the individual role play events. Therefore, you have 30 minutes to prepare with your partner, and then you have 15 minutes with the judge. Individual series events are open to all competitors, but they are individual events. You have 10 minutes to prepare with your case study, and you have a 10-minute interview time or presentation time with the judge. So I'm just picking on one of these sample events to show you what to expect at competition day. So this is typically what you are going to see as a competitor in a role play event. At the top, you should see your event acronym, then the number is the year that it is being used in competition. If it's an individual series event, you're going to see the career cluster. Your cluster will never change. It's assigned to your event. This is Automotive Services Marketing Series, which is a marketing cluster. However, the pathway will change depending on the event that you are in within that category. This career pathway for Automotive Services Marketing is marketing management. The instructional area, which can change from scenario to scenario, for this particular example is economics. What that means is that the majority of the performance indicators that the judge is going to be judging you on is from the instructional area of economics. It does not mean they all have an economics foundation, but it's really the foundation of this scenario in terms of an instructional area, and it will be focused towards the career path of marketing management. Your participant instructions will never change. You want to read the participant instructions in the 21st Century Skills ahead of time. They will be the same for every level of competition, and that way you don't have to spend any time reading through these areas. It's summarizing what we've already discussed, that you'll have 10 minutes to prepare, 10 minutes with your judge. You will have a specific role within the scenario. Your judge will be given a specific role. And in addition to these performance indicators, you're going to be judged on the critical thinking, problem-solving, communication, and creativity skills that we refer to as 21st century skills. We're going to come back to those in just a minute when we look at your rubric, but these are very important that you're making note of right out of the gate, because you need to be able to correlate each one of these performance indicators by definition, as well as why it's important and how it applies to the scenario, and hopefully a little bit of a unique and creative way. So in this example here, it's called an event situation. This is what you would see after that first page. It tells you your role. In this example, you're the general manager of Johnson Family Elite, which is a local automotive dealership that sells both new and previously owned vehicles. And then it will go on to tell you the owner of the dealership is the judge. The judge is considering a change to the days the business is open and wants you to analyze benefits and consequences of the change and make a final decision. I am not going through this whole scenario at the moment, but this is what you will have to read, and you'll have 10 minutes to correlate those performance indicators to that event and put a brief presentation, thinking on your feet together, to the judge. Now these next pages are the judge's instructions. This is what the judge gets. This is what the judge sees. You will not see this, but it very much mirrors what you just read. It just flips what his role is. It tells him, leads with him, he's the owner, and what you're supposed to be doing is presenting your general manager recommendations as to whether he should make the change for the business hours. So I'm scrolling down a little bit more, and basically what they're telling the judge is to, as much as possible, let you, the student who's presenting, speak. have your time to present your presentation of the performance indicators, and then upon your lead, and you need to do this within your 10 minutes, you ask for questions. At that time, the judge is given very specific questions that they are supposed to ask each participant so that you have an equal opportunity to respond just as your competitive members do, or of your section. And then they dismiss you. They're really not supposed to give feedback, positive or negative. They're just supposed to thank you for your time and let you go. And this is how the judge is going to evaluate once you are finished. There's exceeds, meets, belows, and little to no value expectations, and they can score you on a range for each one of those areas. And if you remember, there were 5 indicators in this particular example. They'll be anywhere from 4 to 7. And exceeds expectations can go up to as many as 14 each in this particular example. And those 21st century skills, the creativity, the effectiveness of communication, your judgment and decision making, your communication, all of those things are scored at the bottom, and you're given up to 6 points for your overall professionalism and impression with the judge. And this is how you're scored and compared. So the point of this is, don't skip any of these. Not everybody is going to know them with perfect confidence, and maybe the judge just doesn't even know them with perfect confidence. But if you make a reasonable attempt, you're going to be able to get some, if not all of those points, and really be able to excel at role play. So this is just running you through what to expect in terms of what a role play is, and some examples that you can find many of in Schoology as well as online. Thanks, guys.